Hey, what's going on? Seeing Filthy Grind, another day, another dollar, you know the vibes. Yes, my hair is out. I got more hair than your bitch. But I seen Casanet. Apparently he says he got 500 M's in the bank. I don't pocket watch and shit like that. I just saw on Instagram just now. Congrats. You feel me? And a lot of people are giving him shit because I think he's not streaming no more. I seen his new YouTube channel. He's on some whole different shit now. He's making clothes, this, that, and the third, and whatever. And people making fun of him for it. They're like, bro, you need to go back to streaming. Or, yo, if I was there, I would keep streaming, and this and that. Look, y'all need to understand. All of these things are work. You see these NBA players, NFL athletes, these fucking streamers, YouTubers, all of these things are a job. Content creation is a job. Being a professional athlete is a job. Everything is a job. No matter what it is. Whether you work for yourself, you have a business, whatever. That's working. It's a job, whatever you want to call it. The goal is to be done with that shit so you can live your life. Don't you understand? And in my mind, I'm like, yo, this nigga's really at a point where he can do whatever he wants. He could take 100 M's out of that bank account and just invest in the shit, and he's good for life. Even if he just didn't touch it, he'd be good for the rest of his life. If you manage your shit right, you'll be good for life. That's the goal. Now he can sit here and make clothes and do what he wants to do. If that's what he wants to do, do it. That's why the rich can live their lives, because rich people have enough money where they can do whatever the fuck they want. Wealthy people can do whatever they want because they have money making them money. They got money in the bank. They got enough money in the bank where they don't got to do nothing, and they can just live their lives. Yes, they worry, they get income, whatever, but they're not stressed about that shit. And then the people at the bottom, they be pissed off and shit and try to hate and say that you sold yourself out and all that. Nah, nigga, they just living their lives, motherfucker. Because I used to be like that too. I was on that whole, they selling your soul and this and that. And you know something, man? Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I was probably hating. Because that's honestly the goal, is to be able to do whatever the fuck you want. That's the goal. Everything is a job. The goal is to be done with it so you can live your life. That's the end goal. And a lot of people do it wrong. Unless that's what you want, but that's my goal. My goal is to be done. That's your goal. And when they say generational wealth, all people are trying to say is that you can set up your generation, your future bloodline, where they don't have to do anything. Because I remember I heard somewhere that we're still in the medieval times. And I ain't gonna lie, I could kind of see it. Because in the medieval times, they had like, what is it called? A caste system, or, they just had certain fucking, oh my gosh. Well, like, you had the indigenous, and oh my God, I gotta get my fucking facts right. But, you had like the servants, you had the peasants, it's levels. It was like that back in the day, and it's like that now. You got certain like what's it called? Caste systems? Or you just got certain you're just in a certain fucking, like, you're in a certain group. I gotta check it out and see what it is. But I believe that's what it is, caste systems. You gotta fact check me on it. But you just your family, sometimes you're born in poverty, sometimes you're born in riches. I want my family, my future family, to be done working. I don't want my kids to be sitting over here watching their father bust their ass at a job and then they go do that shit. Because what you see coming up, you're probably gonna end up doing that shit. I don't want my children seeing me and probably my wife busting their ass working, and then they repeat the cycle. No. I'm doing what I'm doing, so that way my kids, whenever I have children, they can go do whatever they want to do. Everything is an option. If you want to go to college and get a degree and go to get a job, fine. If you want to go become an athlete, fine. If you want to go travel the world, fine. You can do as you please. That's your option. You don't have to go work. I had to go work. I didn't have an option. My family wasn't like that. They're not poor, but we ain't rich. I want this to be an option. That's generational wealth. Your future family, the seed in your nuts. I wrote a song about this. The seed in your nuts, nigga. Your future fam, nigga. They don't gotta do much. They can live their lives. Because we're human beings. That's what we're here to do. I don't care what nobody tells you. At the end of the day, we're not that far from animals. We're not. We are evolved, but we're not that far off from animals. We have animalistic tendencies. And animals, they fucking roam around freely. They can do whatever the fuck they want. There's no borders, nothing for these motherfuckers. They go wherever they want. That's how we're supposed to be. We are supposed to be sitting here and living our lives. Not going to work every day. Not trying to chase a dollar. None of that shit. We are put here to live our lives. That's why a lot of people out here are depressed, bored, on something, because deep down inside, this is not how we're supposed to be living. We're not. That's why a lot of people don't want to work anymore, because they just see the scam with it. I see the scam with it too, but I'm going to get out one way or the other. But that's generational wealth. Your future generations, your future bloodline, if you decide to keep it going, have kids and keep your bloodline going, they don't gotta do much, nigga. Kanye West, his daughter ain't gotta do shit. She can live her life however you want. T.I. and them, they got kids, they can do whatever they want. LeBron's son, LeBron's kids in the NBA. He didn't even have to do it. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. These kids that come up and they're rich and all that, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They have a lifestyle where, they can do as they please. This is optional. It's optional. So set your life up for that. Everything is a job. The goal is to get out of the job and go live your life how you see fit. If you want to work a job and you want to keep working, that keeps you going, hey, it's an option. If you want to go do this, it's an option. Everything is optional. Rich people, they have options. No offense to the less fortunate, but less fortunate people don't have a lot of options. It just is. It is what it is. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Oh, the word was indentured servants. That's what it was. That's what I was trying to think of. But yeah, that's literally what, that's the difference between the rich and the poor. Rich people can do whatever the fuck they want, and then the poor people be mad because the rich people can do whatever they want. And yeah, I understand, maybe they can help y'all out, but this is the reality of life. And I hate to sound like this, but it really do be every man for themselves. That's why when people say, oh, well, let's say Jeff Bezos. Let's say, oh, Jeff Bezos has all the money in the world to end world hunger and all of that. Well, in the ideal world, yes, he could probably end that shit. But that motherfucker's worried about his and what he got going on. Sorry. It is what it is. And I know it's fucked up to say that, but it's the truth. That's why you have to worry about yourself, and you got to be greedy sometimes and be selfish, because the ones at the top, that's all they are. They're human beings too. We are all human beings. Everybody forgets that we are human beings. I don't believe human beings are good or bad. I think that we just do what's best for our interests. That's it. And the ones at the top, they're going to protect their spot. Oh my God. The ones at the top, they're going to protect their spot. They're going to protect that shit. Yeah, so yeah, they do what they got to do to hoard their money because they're going to protect their spot. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just telling you what it is. You got to do the same thing too. So you got to go ahead and go get it. That's what I'm doing. Think like a rich motherfucker. Don't think like a poor nigga. Think like a rich nigga. Rich people, they're selfish. They're conniving. They do what they got to do. Yeah, and I know it's fucked up, but it's the truth. That's what separates the top 1%, the 1% to the bottom. Because y'all trying to be over here nice and giving and shit. Well, them motherfuckers, they just... Man, survival of the fittest, my nigga. You gotta do what you gotta do out here, you heard? Am I that kind of person? I'm not gonna backdoor nobody and do nothing crazy to nobody, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna always eat, nigga. We're humans, bro. That's just our animalistic instincts. You're gonna do what it is to protect what you got. So just remember that the goal is to be done with a job, done working so you can live your life. And that's not lazy either. That's the goal. The goal is to be done. That's why I want my brand. So at some point throughout my life, I'm done with it. I can just live my life. That's the goal. Don't never forget that. Because that's what the rich do. They not over here worrying about shit. They chilling. Alright? Y'all know the vibes. Drink your water, eat your fruits, man. Like, comment, subscribe for a nigga if you like the video, man. Deuces.